I kept waiting for Stuck in the Middle with You to play from Reservoir Dogs. How emasculating, you know? You can't even freaking torture and murder a woman without nag, nag, nag.
Yeah, that's about you, audience, not about the sister. Okay. Whoa. Okay. All right. Look. You know what you guys need? A little visit from our friend. Yeah. No. I hit the gong as the majority of people call for the gong. Usually. Generally. Unless there's an animated feature that I think is so brilliant. Dare I say, Lynchian. Which I've never done before.
Oh,
but,
Lynchian.
you know, this was the time that I actually chose to play that card. And so it's historical. Mark it in your minds, because you were here to witness history. All right. Yeah, exactly. Let's just segue into what we all know we want right now, which is joke harmonica.
Yeah. I actually wrote something. Instead of improvising, I actually wrote something. Okay, apart from all of that, Mick Max is playing up there. Mick Max, yeah! This is the director of Amelie. I'm a big fan. Okay. And I'm a big fan of everybody. So I'm a big fan of the Loft Cinema, big fan of all the artists here, and I'm a big fan of all the audience. Everybody. Okay, and so there is a vacuum in our culture caused by a system whose sole purpose is to fund war. This system can be recognized in the apathy of the mainstream. In an attempt to pick at the scab of apathy, I hold an open forum for any questions and comments after this show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Homage. You joke harmonica.
One night, some years after my tantrum ceased, I woke up from a nightmare. My arm had fallen asleep and lifelessly lay across my throat, heavy like an iron bar. I thought I was being strangled by an intruder and screamed out. Daddy came running into my bedroom to see what was amiss. After assessing the situation, he sat down on the edge of the bed and stroked my head to console me in what was the tenderest moment I ever remember with him. In that instant, from where I lay, I caught a glimpse of something I'd never seen before. A strange-looking object emanating very interesting and magnetic energy. There, in plain view, Daddy's penis made its indelible impression upon me, and in my innocence, I was strangely and hypnotically drawn to it. He felt my gaze, and it dawned upon him that he was naked, and in a reflex reaction, he jumped up and dashed from the room, taking his love away from me. At least that's how it registered in my young consciousness. In that split second, his sexual shame was transferred to me. I took it on as children do, out of their desire, and in that moment, my need for love. This event registered as a deep soul wound, and the scar remained for a long time, creating a life pattern I will perpetuate for many years. This complex dynamic of how shame is transferred is one I've studied for years. This particular event, which I call my penis du père incident, left me with deep unworthiness of God's love, since to the child, her father is God, and for years also rendered me unworthy of being loved sexually. In the same manner, another incident ranking as one of the most typical ways shame is passed on occurred when I was very young. My mother walked in one day as I was sitting on the living room rug examining my little genitals. Curious about my private parts and sensations already stirring in those areas, it was the most natural thing for me to have been doing. But, caught up in her embarrassment and shame, my mother grabbed my little hand, slapped it, and warned me harshly to never let me catch you doing that again. Her personal fear and inability to deal emotionally with the situation spun off into a reflex reaction. I don't mean that, either in an accusative or judgmental way. She simply wasn't equipped to handle the moment in an intellectually sound manner. I remember a conversation I had with a young mother during my 30s about a similar situation. Her daughter at the time was roughly the same age as I was when my mother. She told me that just weeks before our conversation, she had the same experience of walking in on her little daughter engrossed in innocent self-discovery. In her moment of embarrassment, however, this young mother refrained from overreacting and composed herself. Instead, she told me, she sat down with her daughter, joined her in exploration, and explained to her what her different little body parts were in a way that she could understand.
I would like to play with my little body parts right now.
Not in the living room.
It's not for the shame. Well, okay, Michael?
Oh, thank you, joke. I know that was a happy anniversary gift. I mean, that film not only picks at this scab of humanity or whatever it was, but makes it into a fruitcake and feeds it to the father, is what it does. Appreciate it.
Yay!
Next and tied together, Michael. Let's have a big hand for Mike.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, last film of the night before we vote for who walks out of here with the cash prize. Diana Stapleton. Her film is called Reinstate the Constitution.
Do we go from the back?
Which is a great idea. We should do it.
No, do we need to? No.
If you guys don't agree, well, where you been? Okay.